I'm at the Rooikraal Historical Terrain in Centurion, Gauteng. Today is the 31st of October 2017. This is just a video update of the conditions at the municipal terrain. Not much has happened since we were here the last time. The enclosures have not been cleaned, as you can see. You can see how dirty that is. Again, I reiterate, as I do every time I come here, I don't see evidence that any other food has been put out. This is all the old food that we've put out a number of days ago. The only vegetation that's here is from vegetation left from our feeding. The pond is dirty again. The feed bucket, black bucket, still full of water. Just reminiscences of our food, no indication of feed. You can see that these enclosures don't really get cleaned anymore. These are the animals waiting for food. As you can clearly see, no pellets were put out. These animals were definitely not fed. That container is still at the same spot it was the last time. Given the amount of animals, one would suspect that some food would be put out a minimum of twice a day, exactly the same. And I can come back here in 3 days and show you that that will look exactly the same. No evidence of any feed other than what is left from our last feed of the rabbits at the Rooikraal Terrain in Centurion. Again, I reiterate, no evidence of feed whatsoever. Given the amount of animals that is here, they should at least be fed twice a day minimum. Cubes is insufficient. No evidence of feed. This is the amount of animals competing for food at the Rooikraal Terrain. You can see how hungry they are. At this initiative, we put up white shelters to help the animals have sufficient shelter. This is a shelter that we've also put up again. The feeder that we installed, no evidence of feed. No effort was made by the park to feed these animals. There is a large amount of animals at this terrain and are not being fed. They only get food when we get here. Evidently they should be fed on a daily basis. They should have food in the form of hay, oat hay, and ergos to say 24 hours a day access. It is their right, it is their natural diet. According to the park, they get fed cubes or pellets, but there is never evidence of that. So basically these animals are starving until we get here twice a week or 3 times a week. This is the amount of animals waiting for food. This is another installation that we made so the animals have sufficient shelter. A feeder that was fitted to the shelter was removed by the park staff for some unknown reason. This is patently unacceptable. This is their rendition of acceptable living conditions for these animals. No evidence of any feed left. These animals devour basically up to 12 bags, 50 kilogram bags of greens that we put out, 4 bags of oat hay, ergostus hay and lucerne is devoured within 1 day, 24 hours. So one can imagine that they should get that amount of food on a daily basis, considering again the hay feeder is empty.
I have footage of being intimidated.
Again, no evidence of food.